Chapter 6, The Sparkling Golden Prince. President Lu, this. The bar owner felt helpless. He didn't understand at all how this situation had come about. Lu Tingxiao glanced coldly at the female manager's guilty expression, then looked at the ladder, which was under the skylight in the ceiling, big enough to allow a child through. He could roughly deduce what had happened here. He waved his hand to dismiss everyone, then walked over and directly picked the woman up in his arms. In his embrace, the soft, cool scent from before returned, and was even more distinct. Seeing Lu Tingxiao pick her up, Little Treasure did not stop him, but his expression showed his unwillingness. It appeared as though he was saying that if he wasn't so small, he'd pick her up himself. In the First People's Republic Hospital in B City. By the time Ning Xi woke up, it was already the next morning. When she opened her eyes, she could see a man sitting on a chair by the window. His long legs were casually crossed. He wore a slim-fitting tailored suit that emphasized his broad shoulders and slender waist. His white shirt was buttoned all the way up to the collar. He was bathed in the warm morning sun, but his body appeared to be shrouded in an ancient frost. His cool and calm demeanor was like that of an olden-day emperor. The man noticed her observing him and looked up with a gaze as deep as the ocean directed toward her. His chilling stare seemed to pierce through her. The look he gave her felt intrusive, like a sharp surgery knife dissecting her piece by piece. It made her bones shudder. Ning Xi decided to join the battle, unwilling to lose to this stranger and his uncomfortable gaze. She asked impatiently, "Mister, if I may ask, how did I end up here? Also, did you see a little boy? He seems like he's 4 to 5 years old, doesn't like to speak, is white, soft but is also very cute." Cute. The man raised an eyebrow at her description, then glanced to her right, his voice as cold as his appearance. "Are you talking about Little Treasure?" Ning Xi quickly followed his line of sight and saw a white, soft little bun lying asleep on the small bed by her side. "Right. That's him. His name is Little Treasure." Ning Xi let out a sigh of relief and reached over to feel Little Treasure's forehead. His fever had already subsided. Not too long after she had helped this child escape, she began to feel a hint of regret. He was still so young and with a fever in such a rough place like that wine bar. What would she have done if something had happened to him? Ning Xi then turned around to face the ice statue. "You're this child's." As soon as these words left her mouth, Ning Xi realized she didn't even need to ask. The man and the child seemed to have come from the same mold. It was apparent that they were father and son. Still, the ice statue replied, "Father. Hi beautiful, you're awake. I'm Little Treasure's second uncle." Abruptly, a large face rushed over towards her, causing her to retreat backward until she saw the man's face and stopped. Lu Jingli. He was the Lu Corporation's second prince, Glory World Entertainment's boss, but leaving his stunning looks and titles aside, he was a playboy. He had made more scandalous appearances in the media than many celebrities and artistes. She could never mistake his face. If the ice statue was Little Treasure's father, and Lu Jingli was Little Treasure's second uncle, then wouldn't the ice statue be Lu Jingli's older brother, Lu Tingxiao? Lu Tingxiao was Jing City's famous god of fortune. His existence was like a king sends a crown. So the child she had saved was the mysterious illegitimate son of Lu Tingxiao, the sparkling golden prince. Chapter 7, Big Bun wants to repay with his body. Lu Tingxiao sized up the woman on the bed probingly, as if he was trying to tell if the expression of surprise on her face was real. After a long while, it seemed as if he finally believed that she had not known of Little Treasure's identity. He then spoke up coolly, "Your request." what request? Ning Xi did not understand the words that had appeared out of nowhere. My brother wants to thank you for saving little treasure, he's asking you to state your request. Liu Jingli had the expression "you struck gold" this time written all over his face. Hearing this, the gears in Ning Xi's head spun quickly as she cautiously said, "You really don't need to thank me. It's true that I saved little treasure, but he also saved me. If it weren't for little treasure going out to call for help, then I would still be shut in there right now, so we can be considered even." Although she was really lucky to have saved the little prince, how could she dare to claim a reward for it? The more money someone had, the more prone they were to paranoid delusions of being schemed against. Furthermore, this was the super-rich, top-class elite Liu family they were talking about. It was already amazing that they were not suspecting her of directing the whole incident. Didn't you see how warily Liu Tingxiao had been looking at her just now? To avoid extra suffering later on, it was best to even out the relations between them. Ning Xi had thought that there was no issue with her answer, but Liu Tingxiao's expression remained displeased, causing a burst of fright in her heart. Did she say something wrong? Why was his expression so scary? Brother, don't put on such a scary expression. We know you're trying to repay a debt of gratitude, but those who know nothing about the situation will think you're trying to take revenge. Liu Jingli could not bear seeing a beauty suffering fright, so he spoke up to break the ice. He then turned to Ning Xi and said, "My brother doesn't like to owe others, you should just request something. No need to be polite." There were even people that would force others into bringing up a request. The corner of her mouth twitched. "It's not that I'm being polite, you really don't need to repay me. What I said was the truth. If you don't believe me, you can go check." "No need." Liu Tingxiao spoke simply and to the point. His face was starting to show hints of impatience. Liu Jingli spoke up. "There was surveillance footage of the bar's storeroom. I've already seen it. Little treasure ran in on his own. As for you, the manager of the bar has already admitted that she was the one who locked you in, so you don't need to worry, we don't suspect your intentions. Since you did save little treasure, just ask for something." "Great, we're right back where we started." In the end, Ning Xi had no other choice. Under Liu Tingxiao's increasingly forceful gaze, she summoned up her courage to say, "Then, how about you give me money? The rich like to resolve debts in this simple and straightforward manner, right?" Liu Tingxiao should also be the type to like solving problems with money. If she didn't ask for money, then wouldn't they think that she was eyeing something else? If not money, then people. Just as Ning Xi was assured that this was the most appropriate request she could put forward, Liu Tingxiao's expression became even uglier. Ning Xi was on the verge of tears. Why did he have to be so taciturn? If you have something to say, just say it out. Would speaking a few more words kill you? Liu Jingli, the translating machine, rubbed his nose. "My brother thinks that just giving you money would be too insulting." Ning Xi was howling in her heart. "It's okay. Just insult me." The Liu family's status was too special and she just could not think of an appropriate request at the moment. Just as they were about to come to a deadlock, Liu Tingxiao spoke up. "Marry me." Ning Xi went completely lifeless for a second, before coughing fiercely, almost choking to death on her own spit. "Cough cough cough, what did you say?" After finally managing to stop her coughing, she hurriedly turned towards Liu Jingli with intensity. "Second young master, please translate." However, this time it was not only Ning Xi, but also Liu Jingli who was completely dazed. "Brother, what do you mean? I can't even translate for you this time." At this moment, good fortune arrived and a light bulb went off in Ning Xi's head. She said falteringly, "Don't tell me you've decided to repay me with your body because I saved your son." Lu Tingxiao inclined his head slightly. After slight thought, he nodded, you could put it that way. Chapter 8, Aren't gaining Xi strongly felt like she was in a dream as she looked at the iceberg-like man who had said such shocking words with an expressionless face. She held her forehead weakly. Doctor, where's the doctor? I think I may have damaged my brain in the fall, I'm having hallucinations. Next to her, Lu Jingli had an innocent expression, I didn't even fall but I think my brain got damaged too. At this moment in time, no matter how strong Ning Xi's heart had become after getting abused a million times over, she could not accept the truth before her. She had saved a little bun, and now the little bun's father wanted to repay her with his body. If this were someone else, then it would be fine. If they were somewhat handsome, then she could still treat it as a romantic affair. However, this was Lu Tingxiao they were talking about, Lu Tingxiao. Based on appearance, she did have some looks to speak of, but what kind of person was Lu Tingxiao? Surely he had already seen countless peerless beauties. If he had only taken a liking to her, she would not have been so shocked. If Lu Tingxiao had wanted to play with her after seeing her face, she could still understand, but what he had said was marry me, this was practically turning into horror. Most importantly, Aren't you gaining Xi blurted. Wahahaha. Lu Jingli laughed until he fell. Lu Tingxiao's face became as black as the underside of a pot, the whole ward became shrouded in dark clouds instantly. After a long while, Lu Jingli finally managed to hold back his laughter. If my brother was gay, then where did little treasure come from? Well, surrogacy, artificial insemination. If my brother was gay, then why would he want to repay you with his body? To cover up his real sexual orientation. Ha 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 bro, I can't help you anymore. I also heard that the two of you are. Ning Xi's gaze subtly shifted between the two brothers. Cough cough cough. Lu Jingli was frightened to the point of choking. Shit, that kind of taste is too heavy for me. Although I'm so handsome that I can go for both the men and the ladies. At this time, the center of the storm slowly stood up from his chair, his slender legs were moving closer to Ning Xi with every step. Jingli, bring little treasure out. Ah brother, what do you want to do? Lu Tingxiao slowly fixed the cuff of his sleeve, proving my sexual orientation to Miss Ning. Seeing the other's dark expression and the gaze that wanted to completely devour her, Ning Xi was so scared that she fell out of bed. She retreated behind little treasure, this close to just jumping underneath the bed. Mr. Lu, I didn't start any of this, it was all nonsense I heard from outside. You should chase all this back to the source. Also, you really don't need to thank me. If you absolutely, definitely want me to give you a request, then I request that you please do not ask me for another request. Ah, sorry, I have a very important audition coming up later, I have to go now. We'll meet again if we're fated, okay? Ning Xi spit out her words quickly and prepared to sneak away. However, after just a few steps, Lu Tingxiao's cold voice came from behind her. Did I permit you to leave? Ning Xi was so frightened that her legs began to shiver. My life comes to an end now. After a few seconds, under her death-awaiting gaze, Lu Tingxiao passed her a piece of paper and a pen. Could I trouble Miss Ning to leave little treasure a note, so that he won't worry about you when he wakes up? Just like that she survived a close shave. Yes, no problem. I can even write 10,000 words. Ning Xi heaved a huge sigh of relief, and picked up the pen to start writing briskly. Once done writing, deathly afraid of a sudden turn of events, she quickly sprinted off. Watching the girl leave, the man had a deep expression. as if he were watching prey that had already been collared. After Ning Xi had left, Liu Jingli immediately sidled up to his brother and bounced, "Brother, am I dreaming? You really fancy Ning Xi? It's already been 32 years, even perseverance was about to fail soon, and you haven't taken a liking to any girls. Even I, your dear brother, was starting to suspect if you were bent." The moment the word bent came out, his brother threw out the words, "Shut up." "Yes." Liu Jingli choked. He really wanted to ask. Having to stifle this stomach full of curiosity was going to kill him.